Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Up back into the video today, and today the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Orlando Magic 104-103. This was a huge win for the Cavaliers in this series. It would have been a huge win for either one of these teams, just because of the fact that 84% of the time when a team is up 3-2 in a series, they get the series win. It is, it doesn't, it's not as rare as coming back from a 3-1 lead or a 3-0 lead, but 84% of the time, teams with a 3-2 lead end up winning the series. And this was big for the Cavaliers because, honestly, I don't know where things would have gone if you didn't win this game. And, you win this game by 1 point, 104-103, very close game. But I think the thing is, for Cleveland in this series, you didn't want to go back to Orlando down, as an elimination game, down 2-3, in a place where you got your ass kicked in both games in Orlando. That's just something you do not want to put yourself through, because I think Orlando has a decent chance to win Game 6 and close out this series. Maybe Cleveland makes adjustments playing Orlando in Orlando, because I think you could tell Orlando is a lot more comfortable when playing at home compared to the road. Now, I thought Orlando at the same time played a lot better than they played in this game in Game 5 than they did compared to Game 1 and Game 2, the two games in Cleveland. Game 1, Game 2 in Cleveland, they were terrible. But tonight, I noticed they were a lot better than they were in the two other games before that. They played good defense in this series. They really had. I think this was the first game in this series that Cleveland has gone over 100 points. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100. They had 89 last game. I know that. I know in the first two games, even though Cleveland won both games, they did not go over 100 points. And I can't 100% remember if they went over 100 points in Game 3. I do believe this is the first time Cleveland has gone over 100 points in the series. And if not, it's only the second. So Cleveland has only gone over 100 points either one or two times in this 5-game series. Orlando's done a really good job defending, but you could tell they're not comfortable on the road. They're very comfortable when playing at home, and that's why I could see them sending this series to Game 7. I just don't see them beating Cleveland in Cleveland because they've not been able to win games on the road. Now, if you compare this game to the other games on the road, though, this was actually a close game, and I think it was really... I hated the end of this game for Orlando. I want Cleveland to win this series, but I hated no timeout by Jamal Mosley there. I mean, I don't understand it. We'll go to what was happening. It was 102-100. Orlando got a stop. I think he had about 13 seconds on the shot clock. So 13 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, down 2. You had a timeout. You had one last timeout. I don't think I don't think they made a bad play. I mean, you got Franz Wagner to the rim. He was having a decent night. Honestly, 3 for 11, 14 points, but he can get to the rim. And their previous basket was Franz Wagner getting to the rim to make it a 2-point game, 100-102. So they went to it again. He drove to the rim. Evan Mobley blocked the shot. I don't know why you're not calling a timeout in that position, to be honest. I don't know why you don't call a timeout. This is a team, was a young playoff team, and has never been in a winning situation in the playoffs like that. Game 1, Game 2, they got blown out. Cleveland blew them out. Game 3, Game 4, yes, they got the wins, but they blew Cleveland out. So this was the first close game of this series. This is a young Orlando team. Paolo Banchero in his second year. Franz in his third. Wendell Carter Jr. has been in the league for a while, but has never been in the playoffs. Look, the only guy who actually has playoff experience was on this team. You can look at it, and you can probably say, I guess, Joe Ingles. He only played 10 minutes, though. Gary Harris, I think, went to the playoffs a couple times with the Nuggets. He only played 19 minutes. Who am I missing? I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you got Joe Ingles, you have Gary Harris. Those two guys have been to the postseason. I know that. I don't think Markelle Fultz has been to the postseason. I think that's it. You just have Joe Ingles, and you have Gary Harris. Those are the only two guys that have been in the postseason on this roster, and I don't think either one of those guys was on the floor at the moment. Maybe Gary Harris was. I'm not 100% sure. But my point is, there's no playoff experience. You're on the road in a Game 5 situation where you only have a 16% chance to win the series. I mean, that's the record. Only 16% of teams win the series win down 3-2. So why not call a timeout when you're on the road in that kind of situation when your team has no experience in the playoffs? In situations like that, I think that it's a no-brainer timeout right there, in my opinion. But yeah, that's a mistake that I think Orlando can't get back. But I think in that situation, I know I'm not a head coach in the NBA, but if I were the head coach, I would have called the timeout, knowing my team is an inexperienced team in the postseason and has never been through that before. You call a timeout. All right. So Mitchell, 28 points, 6 rebounds. Mitchell was great in this game. They needed to step up without Jared Allen. And I love some changes that J.B. Bickerstaff, made. He knew his job was on the line in this game. He did. Because if they lose this series, I think he might get fired. Because, look at last year. They lost to New York in a 5-game series. This was a must-win for him as a head coach. And he made some right changes. Jared Allen was out due to injury. Coro was starting in the starting lineup. And with Jared Allen out, he didn't play Georgie Yang. Georgie Niang was a DNP, and he added some guys into the rotation that did a really good job. And I really love what these two veterans did for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. One of them has experience helping out this Cavaliers team in the playoffs, and that is Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson comes in the game, plays 9 minutes. He's going to help. You'd think he'd help with some other stuff, but I was impressed with what he went out there and did. Got 3 assists in 9 minutes. That's pretty surprising. It was surprising for me. I mean, he's first a center to get 3 assists in 9 minutes. I mean, that's not named Domantas Sabonis or Nikola Jokic. It is impressive to me. Tristan Thompson is not a great center. Is at the end of his career. He's old. And he was out there able to get 3 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal. Only took 1 shot, missed that shot in 9 minutes. That's not bad. And the other guy that got added to the rotation that was huge for them and is going to be huge for any team due to his great 3-point shooting, Marcus Morris Sr. I loved what he brought to this Cavaliers team in this game. And I think with the way he played in this game, he might have found himself a spot in the rotation for the remainder of this series and any future series with the way he played tonight. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 9, 2 for 5 from 3. They also got 3 points from Karis LeVert. He played 19 minutes. He's been great for them this year, but he not great tonight. 2 steals, though. So, yeah. And Sam Morrell was also added to the rotation, so he played 6 minutes and shot 0 for 2 from 3. So, Morrell, Tristan Thompson, and Marcus Morris Sr. get added to the rotation. They combined for a total of 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists with 1 steal. And they had Jared Allen out in this game with an injury. And then you had Georgie Niang, who was a DNP and who's been playing in this series. So let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out. Also, let's go to Orlando scoring real quick. Forgot to go over that. So, Banchero put up 39 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Look, yeah, it have to find I think this offseason, if Orlando does get eliminated, when they probably will be eliminated in this series, you have to find a nice second scorer next to Paolo Banchero. I think Franz is a great player, but there was and Charles Barkley went over this. There was a time in this game where they go to Paolo Banchero 10 straight times, and he's scoring the ball. They're looking for him to shoot the ball 10 straight possessions, and I know what Charles Barkley was talking about because I was watching this game, and he said that it went to him 10 straight times. He only scored on 3 of them. It might have been 4, but at the same time, Bankero did great today. 39 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 for 24, 4 for 7 for 3, 7 for 8 at the free throw line. But he's not always like this. He does have his moments where he is not playing great basketball, and he is shooting terrible shots, taking too many shots, and, missing a lot of them. But I think Banchero's a little bit of a ball hog, to be honest. He wants to shoot the ball every possession for this Magic team, and I think you need to cut the workload down for him this offseason, potentially bring in maybe not someone who's better than Banchero, but someone who's better than, Franz Wagner, someone who's going to come in and be a really nice scorer next to Banchero and Wagner. I'm thinking potentially about a point guard. I think Trae Young would be a nice fit. I know he is better than Banchero, but I think Trae Young would be a nice fit for this Orlando Magic team. You need a scorer, but you also need a point guard who's going to come and run this offense and is going to be good around this team and help the other guys be better. That's something Trae Young would do. So I think Trae Young is definitely someone Orlando might look at this offseason. All right. Wendell Carter Jr. had 7 points, 11 rebounds. He looked great in this game. 3 blocks. 0 points for Gary Harris. 13 for Jalen Suggs with 5 rebounds, 2 steals. 7 for Jonathan Isaac. 8 for Mo Wagner. 7 for Markelle Fultz, 6 for Joe Ingles, 2 for Cole Anthony. So tough loss for the Magic, but maybe they can get a win at home and send this game to 7-game series. But you can't win on the road. You've shown that, so I don't think there's a great chance for Orlando in this series. Let me know your thoughts though, and peace out.